So as you get your body settled into the fabric, start off with just a couple of nice, good breaths. Huge inhales. Nice deep exhales. Feel this gentle rocking motion. Our inspiration today comes from the moon and the ocean, that beautiful relationship they have with each other. Wherever the moon is, the ocean directly underneath that part is pulled higher. And then as the moon shifts around, that point transitions all the way around. So that's what creates those beautiful cycles we have in the ocean. So there's lots of different symbolic ways that this can mean for us. First of all, we're mostly water, so we're affected so much by these types of cycles. We don't even realize it necessarily. But think of how that pull slowly starts to create tides and the waves that we see. And think of how us being water, those tides, or in other words, the gentle rocking motions that we can take. Are helpful for our nervous system to calm down from anxieties. And there's many other lessons we can take from that relationship of moon and water. One would be just the cycles. That moon slowly taking a cycle all the way around the earth, and how that cycle is constant change, but also it's repeating itself over and over again. So sometimes life sends us these patterns that repeat over and over and over again until maybe we're ready to learn the lesson, and then maybe the fractal that we're circling around will start to shift. And so all sorts of different ideas that our intuition can teach us and guide us into. But just imagine as we're moving through class, it's like we're water, just gently being rocked. It's like a little piece of seaweed or something just gently being rocked around because of that movement of the water. So that'll be the image that will carry us forward. With that, let's take some of our initial stretches for the body. So start off to take the arms all the way extending to the back wall. And from there, let the shoulders start to wiggle a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. This first purposeful kind of rocking. Perhaps take another good cycle each side. Feel those side ribs getting a beautiful chance to open. Beautiful. As we're ready to come back through the center, right knee comes into chest. The hands can clasp around that knee, hug it in. Maybe some ankle rolls, shifting that gentle rocking motion now kind of to the ankle area. Maybe do a couple clockwise, a couple counterclockwise. When legs ready to reach upward, let it extend up to sky. Grab on, help the hamstring out. Inhale. And then with our exhale, we're taking this right foot, hooking it to the back left part of the fabric. So it's like a pigeon pose. Hook it, yep, to that back left, and then slide the shin in. First hip opener. If you're ever confused, you can peek around at others. You got it. And then just slide the shin.
And
no, that one.
Bring this down.
Yeah. Good. Easy breath. Take one more huge cycle in and out. Start to free out this leg as you drop it down. And we're going to take the second side. So knee into chest, a couple of ankle rolls. So that spot starting to return back to a water-like quality. We don't often think of the ankles as water-like. We think of them as more solid. But imagine that water flowing rather than getting stagnant, preventing swelling of the ankle. And then leg up to sky when you're ready. Grab on, pull it in. Beautiful breaths flowing. Huge inhale. And then exhale, hip opener on this side. So left foot hooks to back right. Let the knee swivel out and then slide the shin in. Let's take another huge inhale. Yep, good exhale. And free out this leg. Good. Let's leave the legs inside for a moment. Let the hands grab on to help the upper body sit upward. From here, we're going to take a little back bend. So let the fabric fall down to your low back. By the way, if you don't want to take the back bend very much, keep it up at armpits. But lower to the low back makes the back bend deeper. And then you can regrip on with the hands. Slowly slide down. The head travels backwards. You can keep the grip. That makes it less intense. You can let go. That makes it more intense because more weight is dropping down. Let's take, if you're comfortable, let's take about 5 more breaths. You can always come up sooner if your body knows to do so. Good, one more huge breath in. And exhale, start to lift the chin up. And use that grip of the hands to help your body sit up. Legs still stay straight for a moment longer. And then stretch your arms toward those nice straight legs. Round the spine up and over. Let the head rock a little bit over to right shoulder. A little bit over to left shoulder. And anchor the right hand on the left leg. This is wherever you can reach. It can be foot, ankle, calf. With right hand anchored on left leg, left hand circles up to sky. Traces that rainbow all the way to the back wall behind you. Reverse the rainbow, travel up and forward. Circle again back, this time stay. Feel that nice spine twist. The body even more willing to relax open. Beautiful. And returning this left arm forward. Anchor left hand to right leg, wherever you can grab. When you're there, right hand circles up. Stretch to back well. and up to return forward. One more time, this time stay, up, going back. Feel that spine twist open. Another good inhale. Exhale, return. Going forward. And from here, we're gonna set up Vampire. If you're new to Vampire, get yourself to a space where you can watch me for a moment. If you're experienced with Vampire, you can just go into it. So with Vampire, I start off with this part of the fabric that's behind me, but I don't want all of it bunched up at my neck. And so what I do is I find the back end and take just enough to do one thin, full covering over the shoulder. And then I use my elbows to take all the excess into my waist as I lay back. I should have some extra bunch up fabric at my waist. And so from here, I need to take that down to my feet. So I step the feet in, lift the hips up, scoot it down. Once I've got it all out and I know that I have a good complete covering over shoulders, I'll just bring my hands up high, left and right, lift my feet up. Inside or outside the fabric doesn't matter, but they push out to rise up. Good. Let me do a quick little peek, just make sure it all looks good. Yeah, shoulders, I would even cover just a hair more. And push. So rather than wrap, keeping the toes sort of, pushing to it to rise. Oh, beautiful. Those that know variations with Vampire, you're welcome to explore it. Kind of like you playing around in the ocean, just feel your body flowing. Those that this is maybe the first time, just let yourself experience this first inversion. Just breathe, and you can always slide your hips back in if your head feels like it needs a chance to take a little break. It's no rush to be out. Some people will naturally be upside down a bit longer, some a little bit less long. It's never a competition. Those that are out can either lay in the Shavasana for a couple of breaths. You can bring your head back in, or you can come up to a seated place when you're ready. Either way is fine. If you're sitting, you're welcome to kick the feet free off the front. Your elbows on the back so you can just lean forward. Good. We've got the majority of class up and out, so we're in the recovery phase. Let yourself have several breaths to make sure the blood pressure has its opportunity to flip back to this orientation. Starting to sit back up. Let's allow spine to be stacked nice and tall. From that tall stacked place, gaze over your right shoulder as far as your chin will go. And gaze over left shoulder. Letting the head go back forward, clasp the hands behind the back. Shift the hands over to right hip or right waist. And then right ear drops to right shoulder. Good, head floats back up. Shift the hands to left hip or left waist. And then left ear drops to left shoulder. Good. Head back up. We can release the hands. Drop the chin to chest. And just let the head be heavy. If you want to circle hands around, clasping them and then placing the weight of the hands on the head, that would be fine. Do it 2 more breaths right there. As hands release, the head floats back up. We take a boat pose like we're floating on water, so knees come in. You can keep the grip of the hands on the fabric or release to float. So from here, we shouldn't be relaxing onto the back. We're trying to just lift up right in the middle. So from here, let's circle one leg out, the other, 10, and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the weight of the knees down. Find the hands on the back end of the fabric. We're taking just a slight back bend, a couple of breaths. So similar to before, the hands slide down, the head goes back. You wanted to grab each of your feet this time, that's okay. Good. Just 2 more breaths. That second breath, grit back up. Head rolls up first. And then we lift back up. Take a moment with the floating trough, looking elbows. Shoulders go forward. Feel that nice stretch in the back. Good. Sitting spine up. One more boat pose. You can use hands or not. Float the knees up. Leaning back just enough to feel the core engaged. So with this one, you have the option to just stay still if this is enough. The other option would be slowly straightening the legs and then bending. If you're taking that, 9, 8, like we're a boat on the ocean, 7, keep breathing, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, last one if you're with it. Good. Bending the weight of the legs is back down. Through the outside, we grab onto each end of the fabric and just lift the hips up and forward. So from here, step free of the fabric in front. Find the front end of the fabric as if you were coming back inside. Wave it out for just a moment. So mirror side front. Okay, once you've waved it out, slip your elbows in. Okay, and there's different variations based on what helps you feel those shoulders open and back. So I like to come toward the top of my mat. One option would be stepping right foot forward, left foot back in a good lunge shape, and then just leaning the shoulders forward a little bit. That would get you into it. Another option is both feet forward, just walk forward to let those shoulders open behind. Yep, you got it. I would take a little bit of your weight forward. Yep. Good. You can, I like to kind of arch my heart up, but you could also just lean forward. That would also get it. Just feel that space open in our pecs and our shoulders. Beautiful. One more huge inhale for this half. Exhale. Slide the feet together. Let the elbows rest into the waist. Keep them there though. We're going to slide right back in just a moment. And just let the head slowly roll from right ear over right shoulder, down through the center, to left ear over left shoulder, and return. Beautiful. We'll go into it one more time, especially for those that took the lunge, your second foot forward. So for me, it's left and then right foot back. You can lean forward, you can lean up. Just figure out the exact angle that's going to help your shoulders and pecs. Stand backwards. Take one more huge inhale. Exhale. Good. Again, elbows into waist. And one more little roll of the head, rocking one direction and the other. Good. Free yourself out of the fabric. Come around behind the fabric. Bunch it up in your hands. And with the upper body, mirror forward. Yeah. So upper body forward, hips back. Good. Feel yourself trying to flatten the low back. If you have a lot of rounding to that low back, imagine the sitting bones and try to get those sitting bones to point even further to the back wall. The knees can be a little bent if needed. Swing over to front door. Let's bend the right elbow down, point it to the ground. Left arm is straight, just lean into that straight left arm. Yeah, knees and feet, just do whatever's comfortable. Good, and then straight both arms through the center, swing to back door. Send left elbow down, right straight arm, you will lean into it. Inhale, exhale, return back forward, slight bend to the knees, roll the spine back up. We'll take a hip hang. So fabric up to the hip bones. I usually come on tippy toes to make sure it's on the bones, not the guts. I'll take a step forward to take the slack out of my fabric, and I'm leaning into it already. Bending at the waist, I start to drop one hand down and then the other. Take a couple of steps back, a good 3 or so to take your hips under plumb line. From here, see if you can lift the toes and start to wag your hips left and right, like a piece of seaweed in the ocean. Gently swaying a couple of times to each direction. Know that this one can be intense the first couple of times, so if you need to come out, that's okay. But as much as you can just relax into it, see if you can release. Good. Beautiful. From here, let's try to take a standing split. I'm here on the outside in case I need to help anybody. But right foot goes to floor. Left leg kicks wide. You're trying to kick wide so that it reminds you to wrap your foot on the outside of fabric. So kick it up, wrap it. Good. When you find the wrap, try to return the other toes to the ground if they lifted. Good. And then if the leg that's wrapped can extend upward and you go right ahead. Beautiful. If you want more, you could try to scoot the hand in closer to the foot, but this is usually enough for a lot of people. With one more huge inhale here. Exhale. You huffed the foot forward or the hands backward, return to the down dog shape with that part of the body. And then slide your foot to the glute. Gentle release. Second side. Kick it wide. Remind you to wrap on the outside of the fabric. You got it. Bottom toes try to travel downward. Yep. The wrapped foot can maybe go up. There's room. I love it too. Good. About one more breath or so just to balance our body out. You're ready, slow, gentle return. Some of us might be ready to come out. Some of us might want to go to the full hip hang, no hands. Up to you. The full hip hang is the toes lift back up and then hands hug around the knees. If you're ready to come up, get your feet underneath you and just slowly roll the head up. Start with the hands down and then lift the toes up. Good. And then the hands go around the thighs. Yep. Those that are up, you can come to the stargazer, the fabric behind your shoulders. If you're still upside down, return your hands to the floor. Return the toes down. Walk your feet forward until feet are flat on the floor. Then head slowly rolls its way up. Once we're up, take fabric behind your shoulder blades just to kind of lean back for a moment. Letting body sway to the right. And body sway to the left. Again, that recovery time, making sure we're giving our head time to flip back up before we move on. So always know if I start to move on and you're still with earfulness or kind of dizziness, you're still kind of flipping back around, just stay here. That's always what I ask you to do. Just listen to your body. If you reach that point where you're like, no, I think I'm good. I think I'm ready to be up. Then you'll let me know by walking backwards, freeing yourself out of fabric, and just standing on your own again. Good. Okay, so let's take fabric in front of us again. Here, we're gonna step the right foot into the fabric. And we don't wanna be too far behind plumb line. So if you've got full ceiling tiles in between you and plumb line, pop forward so head's like 2 or 3 inches behind. Okay, from here, start off with right hand grabbing one of the strands just for balance, but if you're doing good without, you can do it without. But a couple of times, nice and slowly, let the right leg open up to the right, and then back forward. Try to work together with your neighbors. Out wide, forward. Let's take 2 more, wide, forward, wide, and stay. Now let that foot slide in. The knee comes through the center past where the end of the fabric is. Okay? So we're gonna turn this into a hip opener. Your left hand grabs the right heel and is gonna try to start pulling up. You don't wanna injure the knee, obviously, so only pull up to the amount the knee's happy. Some people can go parallel, some people it's just a little bit angled up. But you go to the point where that knee is happy. With the knee past the end of the fabric, it should stay locked in place. And then a grip of the fabric about the shoulder height each side. And this one's one you literally just need 2 or 3 inches leaning forward and you'll get into that hip open. So just relax forward as much as that hip is happy with. You'll notice that torso forward versus torso arched back will change a couple of muscle groups, so you can choose what feels best. Good. Another huge breath in and out. Weight comes over standing leg. Slip this foot back into the center. Slide the hands up high. We're going to come up and down 5 times. So use your leg strength, use your core. Coming up with a nice exhale, 5. And down. 4. If you want to make it harder, keep the leg straight the whole time. And 3. Doing awesome. You can always skip some reps if you need to. 2. You're still doing good. 1 more. Up and down. Beautiful. Slip the fabric to ankle. Let it straighten out again. Hands can either slide down for hamstring stretch or slide up for splits. Your choice. That heart rate calm down again. Yeah, if you're ever going off to weird angles, your standing foot on the ground, shifting that around will change the angle that you're tilting forward. Good efforts. 1 more huge inhale. Nice exhale. Weight comes back. Slip fabric back to the arch. We'll take the swinging switch, so gripping up high, straighten the leg out. Step the second foot in and the first foot down. Good. Okay, so first is that swinging motion, trying to stick with your neighbors. If you want the left hand to be on for that balance, that's great. Hands free is also fine if you want to play with that. And out with your neighbors. 4. And return. 3. 2. Good. And 1. As it's back in front of you, make sure it's on arch of foot. This, yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so this one's the one that's the hip opener. So bend the knee goes past the center, you've got some space, and then right hand grabs the heel, slip it up any amount that the knee's still happy with. When you're there, grab back on shoulder height. And it's just that couple of inches that we're leaning forward to get right into those hips. One more good inhale. Exhale. Weight comes back. Slip the foot back to the center. Aim for the 5 pull-ups. Remember, you could always do more or less. Whatever you want to do, keeping the leg straight makes it harder, so you can choose that as well. Take an inhale for your prep. Exhale when you're ready to go up. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Straighten leg out. You can stay at the arch, or I like to go to the ankle first. And then either lean forward, hand slide down, or slide the hands up and transfer whole weight forward splits. Good. Those moments when our heart's more alive. Like how the ocean has those moments of turbulence, just kind of crazy waves doing everything. And now we're back down to the stillness. One more breath flows in and out. Good. Weight comes over standing leg. Let's take fabric back down to the arch of the foot. We're going to try to go for inverted butterfly. This one's an inversion. Not everybody likes this one. So if you head into it briefly and you're like, I want to be out and take a different inversion, you can always take a different inversion. So that's okay. Especially it's one that just has some of that really deep opening that can be intense the first couple of times. So first and foremost, we're going to, let's come up to a standing place to get into it. So your goal here in standing is to minimize rocking. So you're trying to use arm strength, core strength, leg strength to slowly lift up. Bottoms of both feet are into the fabric. Your knees are going to start opening up behind the fabric. And then start to lower your hips down closer to heels. Good. So this is setting up that butterfly shape. From here, one shoulder goes forward and through the center. You can grip on close to armpit. And then the other. So the grip, I like to really make sure it's high up to armpits just because of this next step. Fingers can get stuck if you try to grip too low. Okay, so as I start to lean forward, I want to get the fabric past the hip bone, more just to the outside of it. So I'll lean to one side, push, lean to the other side, push, get it past those hip bones, and then just straighten the arms out and relax your hips, and you're there. I'm going to be on the outside in case anybody feels stuck. There, I promise you can get out, but sometimes you feel stuck the first couple of times. But when you're there, you're welcome to release hands. You got into it, yeah. Baby steps, just one step at a time. Just communicate with me if you need help. So this is when that intensity, you'll notice if you try to relax into the intensity, it tends to get better. But that being said, it's a thigh massage in a place where we don't usually massage. So try to just relax if you can, come out when you need it. Good. If you want to do straddle back or anything, Robin, you're welcome to. Straddle back or anything that you want to, it's up to you. That's fine. Good. So one hand grabs on each side. Okay. You're gonna keep the knees tucking under toward you. Yep. And then, yep, your elbows start to bend. Walk your hands a little higher. That's it. That's it. Scoop under and then just get, yep. That's it. You got it. You got it. So pause for a moment with your head up for a second before you head out. Good. So you're almost there. Scoop your hips under. Yep. And then, yep. Go. Try to get your elbows wider. That's it. You're trying to, yeah, that's okay. I can help. But you're trying to tweak in. Try to tweak out that way. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Okay. Give your head a break for a moment. When you're eventually heading out, what I like to do is just straighten my legs, drop one foot down and then the other. But you have to come behind first. Yeah. You got it? And then you're welcome to go back to that stargazer. Yeah, good work. That was a lot of first timers doing that one. That one's pretty intense. It's one of my favorites because it's so deep, but people don't usually like it the first time. So you guys did awesome. Just lay back when you're there. Easy breathing. Good. So if you know to just be inverting a little bit longer, that's fine. Sometimes that's why people come to class at all. So this will be kind of your last segment if you know to invert. Otherwise, I'll guide you into some nice little stretches to wrap us up. So if and when your head feels ready to be back up, you're feeling good again, go ahead and free yourself with fabric just to help me know where we're at. Good, looks like we're in a good spot. So come up to the mirror side top of fabric. Just like normal, wave it left and right. This will help us know that it's not bunched up in like folded over ways. But then release it and let it come together. So without, folding anything over that we just undid, you're going to grab onto the fabric, the side that's going to be closer to me, closer to the center of room, half of fabric. Grab onto it, and then facing me, you're going to step your leg in and straddle into the fabric. Good. You might have to be on tippy toes. Separate the fabric back out to the two halves. Bring it wider than your glutes and then sit into it, spreading the fabric down to the thighs. Good.
Wonderful way to do that.
Right? A nice little wedgie way. Okay, so I want us to spread the arms left and right. Your hand that's closer to the mirror side, take that hand on the inside of that knee. You're gonna slide down closer to the shoulder, and then the other hand is up to sky or leaning to mirror. Beautiful. Top hand comes up, grabbing fabric. That grip helps to lead the rest of the body up. Then switch sides toward the back wall side. Bring that arm to the inside of the knee or slip closer to shoulder. The other hand is up or leaning to back wall. The top hand grabs up. That grip helps the torso lift. Let's slip the fabric down to each heel. Once you're here, arms are on the outer fabric, pushing out. This helps the inner thighs to get a really good stretch. Now, keeping the arms pushing out, this is a little bit of arm strengthening. So arms pushing out, leg strength is stronger than arm strength. So legs start to squeeze together. That's our exhale. With the inhale, the legs relax, and so they slowly spread back open with the arm strength. Let's repeat that. 4, exhale, squeeze the legs together. Inhale back out. There's 3. And open. 2. And open. Last one. And open. Good. So now we're going to take a pigeon pose to the mirror side. So let that knee bend out to the side, the toes swivel into the pelvis. From there, you're going to start freeing your body to the mirror side and grabbing onto left and right sides of the fabric on that front half. Once I've got a grip on each side, left and right, I walk the hands up. And then I pick up my hips so that my back leg can swing all the way around to point behind. Good. Once it's behind, if you stay inside, that's a king pigeon. If you free out your shoulder that's over the toes, lean forward, please. Those hips relax open. I like this one too if I keep the rest of the fabric across me like a seatbelt, because I can get a nice little neck massage. Just sliding forward, I can get that nice little pressure into the neck. Good inhale. Exhale. Rock your weight onto that front hip, swing the legs back open, wide figure V. And then a pigeon pose to the back wall. So that back wall foot bends in. The hands need to find the 2 ends of the fabric. Slide them up high. Pick your hips up so the back leg can swivel around. And then staying for king pigeon or freeing the shoulder that's over the toes for sleep. That nice little neck massage, sliding the other shoulder into the fabric. Feel the body just relaxing. 2 more breaths. And then when we come back inside, you've got 2 options for Shavasana. So start off wide figure V legs. The option 1 for Shavasana is just bring the bottoms of both feet together, a nice cocoon shape. You can either rest the forehead forward or the back of the head backward. If anybody prefers instead the Shavasana that we started class off with, the laying flat Shavasana, then the way that you head out of this is take the fabric to knees, and then bunching the fabric in front of you, you can swing your leg up and forward to lay all the way back out. So your choice which Shavasana you'd like to take. We're going to be here for several minutes. Imagine the act of breathing is like the tide. It's like the moon is above you on the inhale, and the moon is circled around the other side of the world on the exhale. A fresh breath, the next inhale and exhale, just allowing that beautiful rhythm to happen. We'll be here for several minutes. Just feel your body easing into a deeper and deeper state of relaxation. We're going to deepen our inhales. Our exhales. Introduce little movements back to fingers and toes. ankles and wrists. We're in various different shapes, so start to introduce movements to your body. You're in the seated place, maybe expand the feet back out and lean to one side and then the other. If you're in more of a normal Shavasana, maybe you take a fetal position or just stretch the arms to the back wall. Let your body have just a little bit of wiggling as we're returning back to this present moment, back to our breath, back to our body. Eventually, sooner or later, working our way forward. No sense of rush necessarily. Good. Working our way forward, we join hands together in front of heart. We return to that image of the ocean and the moon. Perhaps little tiny intuitive hits that we got through class regarding what these patterns mean for us in our life at this moment. Maybe the pattern of receiving and letting go. Maybe the cyclical nature, remembering that we'll keep on seeing things repeat in our life over and over again until we're willing to change something. Or maybe just that rocking motion of the plants and the animals in the ocean because of the moon, and noticing how our body also has a lot of water. We can receive that kind of rocking, nurturing quality by letting ourselves come to wiggles more often. So with all this to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.